Recently Elden Ring Nightreign's beta test came out, which I'm sure we all played. So I made a video on everything we know so far that's going to be in the game. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. We start off with our characters flying in on their birds. Everything in the game is different. We're not going to always have the same loot or have to fight the same bosses. It's going to be randomized every time. And the thing is, it's not like base game of Elden Ring. It's actually way different. There's a storm that gets you like in Fortnite. You're going to have to loot up as fast as possible because the rain is coming. When you're playing, it feels like you have no time, and you have to be as fast as possible because you need to be strong for the endgame bosses. I personally did not get into Elden Ring Nightreign's beta test because I forgot to apply, but I did gather all of the information needed and that we know of, so don't worry, me not playing is not gonna matter. There's also some new mechanics. We got a super sprint because Torrent is not with us in this game. There's also a new climbing mechanic which is going to be nice to collect more loot or hide from enemies. Just like in Elden Ring, there's a Sight of Grace, but this is not a normal Sight of Grace. Once you touch it, it replenishes everything, and you level up once. You're going to start each run with about 3 flasks, and every time you touch a Sight of Grace, it replenishes it. Also, leveling up is really important in order to fight the last boss because of course, it's a Souls game. The bosses are not going to be easy. At the top of this church, this player finds some loot. And this is where we are shown that there's going to be different rarities. There's going to be white, green, blue, purple, and gold. Once you find stuff like how the player just did, this is going to be classified as community loot. So what that means is that everybody can see what you got, and each player can pick up at least one of each item. In this clip we can also see each ornament has a different Ash of War. Then we get shown that there's a new kind of map. It's kind of the same like Elden Ring. Everything on the map is obviously different, but also everything is going to be on your map. This is also going to be really useful because your teammates are going to be able to see where you're going. Just keep in mind the map doesn't just show you everything. You could just walk past something without it being on your map. I also don't want to show you much of the bosses because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But if you want to see the bosses, let me know because I can make a separate video on that. They also added a new reviving system. When your teammates get down, they can crawl around to you. They also have a health bar, which will be 3 bars. But the more they get down, the lesser it will be. It's also like when you get down in Fortnite. But the different mechanic is you have to hit your teammate in order for them to get back up. Speaking about how it's kind of like Fortnite, the storm is also kind of the same. When the rain closes in, it gets pretty scary because you have to rush in order to win. That's why it's never like you have time, not even to think. It's pretty intense if you think about it because of how much pressure it puts on you. It might sound bad, but it's actually kind of fun. They also added jump pads and slipstreams, which I don't have the gameplay of, but you can kind of get the picture because it's in base game. The only thing different is the color. For the combat, it's kind of the same, but there's 4 different characters we can choose from. The first one, Recluse, is a mage and she's pretty strong. If you like mage builds, of course you're gonna like this one. She has 2 different abilities. The one is like the glintstone projectile, and there's also another one that shoots a wave. There's nothing more to talk about being a mage. There's also night sorceries which you can get, and you can probably tell just how good the mage build is. For the next one, Wilder. He's like a soldier class. If you like close-up combat, you're going to like him. There's also something cool about him. He has a grapple that can hit enemies, so you're going to have both close-range combat and far-range combat. For the next character, Guardian, he has a shield and a big spear, kind of like Morgan's spear. He's probably one of the most ecstatic characters in the game. His shield is also very strong, so you can hold and parry easily. And his special ability, you can fly in the air and slam down into the ground, which is definitely something you're not going to be used to. His wings are also just really cool. For the next character, Duchess. This character is definitely going to be one of the most unique characters they added so far. It's not a character that any Souls game has seen. This character has the best dagger moveset in any game. This moveset is really quick and it has bleed damage, which makes it even more overpowered. The character itself is also just really cool. And that's everything. If you think there's more I should have talked about, leave a comment on what you think would be useful to know. Also, like and subscribe so you can see more of my videos. See you in the next one.